going to do a project making a pillow cover using an invisible zipper. So we have our fabric, we have our pillow form. You can buy it or you can make your own. We have a tape measure, scissors. The feet we're going to need for the project is a regular zipper foot, a regular zigzag foot, and an invisible zipper foot. And then we have invisible zipper also. All right, so the first thing we have to do is measure our pillow. So we're going to measure our pillow, and I am from side to side. I'm getting 16 by 16. So you have to, if my measurements are 16 by 16, you have to add 1 inch to each side in order to get your seam allowance. Your seam allowance is going to be 1/2 inch. So 16 by 16, we're going to add 1 inch to each of those numbers, so it's going to be 17 by 17. So we need to cut a square of fabric that's 17 inches by 17 inches. All right, let's cut it out. Here's my fabric I'm going to use. The first thing I'm going to do is just draw one straight line that's parallel to the selvage edge. So get my chalk out. Okay, so I have one line there, and I need it 17 inches tall. So I'm going to do my height. I'm going to do 17 inches and mark up at the top where that is. And I'll do the other side. 17 inches and mark up at the top. And then I can connect those two marks, that mark and that mark. And draw the line all the way across. All right, now do the side. So straight line on this side, and we'll do the same thing. Measure, put it at the 17-inch mark, mark up at the top, and then the other side, 17 inches, mark the top, and then connect these two lines together. Okay, so now we have marked out our 17 by 17 square, and we'll cut it out. So we have cut out two 17 by 17 inch squares. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over to the sewing machine and we're going to zigzag all the edges all the way around. Not together, not both layers together, but one layer at a time. We're going to zigzag around this one, and then we're going to zigzag around this one, and that is going to finish our edge so that these edges aren't going to unravel over time. So we finished the zigzagging the edges to do our seam finish, and now it's time to put in the zipper along one side. So to do that, we are going to first mark 2 inches down from the top edge and the bottom edge. So 2 inches down, and then from the bottom edge 2 inches up. So our zipper is going to be placed between these 2 marks, okay? So what we're going to do, we're going to put these right sides together, we're going to go over to the sewing machine, and we're going to baste, do a long stitch that's at setting 4, from this mark all the way down to this mark. All right, so we got right sides together. We're going to find our mark 2 inches in right here. To mark it, I'm gonna put a pin in, and here's the other one. And then I'll put a couple of pins in the center here. And let's go sew it. Alright, we'll just press this seam allowance open now. Good. And we're going to get our zipper and prepare our zipper by pressing the teeth flat. Okay, and then to see if we really got it pressed the correct way, when you zip it up, you'll see that the zipper tape sticks straight up. That means we did it correctly, so that's good. Now what we're gonna do is, our zipper is longer than the opening. That's fine. We're going to lay the zipper down right, and from here to here, we're going to pin the zipper in place. And we want to check and make sure that the center of the zipper matches up to this seam line. Now we're going to get a needle and thread, and we're going to hand baste the zipper tape to the seam allowance. Just these 2 layers, okay? And I usually start my basting with a little back stitch, just to kind of secure that beginning place so I don't accidentally pull my thread out. And I have also found that the closer you sew to the teeth, the closer you sew, the more secure it's going to be when you sew it on. If you baste out here along the edge, the zipper can still shift around and move up and down while you are trying to sew it in place. So it's better if you can be closer to the zipper tape. Zipper teeth. Zipper is basted in. The next step is to remove this row of initial basting that we did. So we'll find our seam ripper, and we'll take this row out. basting, I caught more than just the one layer. That's not what I wanted to do. I'm gonna have to separate this. There we go. Oh, happened again over here. I need to separate that. Let's see if I did it to the other side. Other side looks fine. So now this is what it looks like. And we're going to unzip our zipper. At the sewing machine, we're going to sew with the invisible zipper foot from the top of the zipper all the way down. And we're just going to go to the 2-inch mark. The 2-inch mark, start at the 2-inch mark at the top, end at the 2-inch mark at the bottom. I'm going to put it in with a little pencil so I can see it better. All right, so I'll get the invisible zipper foot, start here, come down, and end at that mark. Same for the other side. And when I sew, I'm going to sew both going the same direction. If I sew one this way and then the other way, then my fabrics are probably going to kind of twist a little bit like that, and the zipper won't actually line up in the end. So, all right, here we go. All right, I got my invisible zipper foot on. I have the machine set up for a straight stitch, and I put it at the length of 3. I am gonna backstitch at the beginning and the end now. The zipper teeth that we pressed flat tend to want to curl back, so I'm pressing them flat again as they go through my zipper foot. All right, let's see if this zipper can close. That's the test to see if we did a good job. All right, it closes and it's invisible. Awesome. All right, so the invisible zipper is in. Here it is. And the other side. That's what it looks like. Now the top and the bottom are open. So what we're gonna do is the next thing we're gonna put the regular zipper foot on, and we're gonna close it up. So we're gonna pull this zipper out of the way and pin the seam allowance kind of flat together. And we're gonna take our regular zipper foot on the machine and start here, and then sew straight down to just in front of where the stitching starts for the invisible zipper. And then we'll come down here to this side and do the same. We'll start here and then come down right in front of it. And I'm going to open my zipper when I do this side so that the pull is out of the way, so I don't bump into it. Okay? And remember, our seam allowance is 1/2 inch, so I'm going to line up the edge of my fabric with the 4/8 line there. And then I'm gonna sew. We'll do a little back stitch and come forward. Sometimes if your fabric doesn't want to feed forward, you can take your strings here and give them a little, put a little tension on them. Lift up the foot a little. Get the fabric moving through. Sometimes that can happen at the beginning when you're starting to stitch. And I'm gonna keep my stitching as close to the invisible zipper stitching as I can. And the other side. Alright, so we have the zipper in and we have sewn up the top and the bottom. And you notice right where I came up to the bottom and came to the top, it's not laying totally flat. So let's give it a little iron and see if that doesn't help it lay flat for us. There. Does that look better? There. That looks pretty good. All right. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut off this zipper. But if I just cut it with the scissors without securing the bottom, then the zipper stop could fall out at some point. So I need to secure the bottom before I cut it. And I'm just gonna sew around the teeth. That will make a good zipper stop. And I'll knot this side. I like to hide my knots. This time, I mean, it's not really that important to hide your knot because this is the inside of your pillow, so it's not really gonna show one way or the other. But, all right, so after you have the zipper stop sewn in place, you gotta find some knot fabric scissors, some little kid scissors or something, and cut your zipper. Okay, so now my zipper is cut. Now, most important thing before we close up this pillow is open our zipper. We need to leave a hole so that we'll be able to turn our pillow case right side out at the end. So now what we're going to do is fold it right sides together. We're going to pin all around the 3 remaining sides. The zipper's on the 4th side, already finished. We just need to sew up the other 3 sides at 1/2 inch seam allowance, and then we're done. Half-inch seam allowance. All right, and at the corner, we have to stop 1/2 inch away from the other side, from the other edge. I think I'm about 1/2 inch away. Let me test it out. I'm right now 5/8 away rather than 4/8 away, so I'm going to do one more stitch. Good, that's better. So now I'll keep going. Alright, let's pivot and check where we are. Oh, still a little too far away. Good. So I've sewn with 1/2 inch seam allowance all around the outside edge. I'm going to press the seam allowances in along the stitching line. I want the stitching line to be right along the pressed edge. And that, all right, let's press these edges down. Okay, now we left our zipper open so that we can turn it right side out. And we'll need to poke out our corners. There we go, it's pretty good. Okay, now I'm going to press again. Press again, so keeping the seam right on the edge. Let's stuff our pillow.